Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly good afternoon. Yeah, I was going to carry on with my story for the year 2013. This is in the realizations part. So now by this time, like I said, the system's got me down basically as a rapist and a possible pedophile, basically. That's how the people in the system are looking at me. In the health system, in the mental health system, and in the Salvation Army. Basically, I think that's where it all started, maybe. They've had me under surveillance for the last, since 2011, or since I got my cousin pregnant in 2010, November. So everywhere I've been since then, people have been watching me and orchestrating my life so far. I realized this in 2017. So I'll start in the year 2013. There's just a few things I want to say from the year before, 2012. Now I'm being followed around this time under surveillance, and people can hear what I'm thinking through some kind of technology, yeah? So everything that they've put in front of me has been put in front of me for a reason. In 2012, before I went to South Africa, I saw Hailey and Lorenzo in about August or September before I went to South Africa. I was walking with Byron at Carousel and she pushed him in front of me and she's like, yeah, this is your son and that. And I was like, cool, man, you know. Picked him up, beautiful little kid. Took some photos of him. Me and him, me, Byron, Hailey. Now this was all orchestrated to happen. She was supposed to be there, I realized. Because I wasn't in denial about being the father. Just didn't remember what happened, fully what happened between us. Only some parts don't actually remember fucking her, So I saw her before I went to South Africa. And I said to her, I've got to go back to work. I was going to the FMG job. And after that, I'm going for a holiday to South Africa, so then we'll catch up maybe in the new year or whenever we can. So, anyway. At some time, in 2013, during the beginning, me and Hailey, we organized a date to catch up with each other. But she called me back. She called me up and she said that she couldn't make it because she had to work. Now I realize now that people were just playing the fool with me, making a fool of me. I think they were just doing it because I hadn't seen Lorenzo yet and I had to go to work. So it's like they were going, well, I can't see you now because I got to go to work. You know, they were making a fool. Because we did have a date and she reneged on the date and I didn't see them after that. And then during the year 2013, she's trying to take me to court to get paternity results for Lorenzo, which we already had through Silbase. Yeah, so it was quite, I was a little disappointed actually. And a little offended because me and Hailey, we never had an argument or we didn't fight. So there's no reason why she had to try to take me to court. We had organized a date and she reneged on the date and we just didn't catch up. I thought when you're ready or whatever, you'll call me back up and we'll organize a date to see what we'll do with Lorenzo. And that never happened. So she never contacted me back. I figured everything was fine. You'll contact me when you want to, and then next minute I was getting court orders to go to court. So anyway, I came back from South Africa. I think about $400 left in my bank account. Yeah. Then I saw the guy that was 2 doors down from my mum's house, Ken. We used to play cards all the time there and stuff. Now this time, I saw Darlean Ashby, I think. She used to stay in the caravan next to me in, what is it called, caravan park? The Belvedere Caravan Park in Munroe. I saw her up the road there in IGA one day, and she said, "Hey babe, how you going? I love you, this, that, blah, blah, blah." She was living up the road. Now I realized she was also there on purpose. She was put there for me basically by the system. I went over to her house one day and she was telling me about her pussy tit, how her tit got infected and this, and it was all pussy and stuff. And she was telling me how she got fat and stuff when she used to do cabaret dancing on a boat, and she got fat and all this kind of shit. So basically, what I realized was that the system, because of what happened with me and Hailey and my ex-wife, that the system was actually blocking me from women. In the system somehow they've basically labeled me a rapist and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't realize I was being blocked from women, because what Darlean was doing, she was trying to turn me off her. She was trying to turn me off woman by grossing me out about her pussy tits and that, and putting on weight and getting fat. And inside her house she said to me that she had a wedge that she put under her door. I said, "Why you got that?" She said, "In case these guys come walking into my room at night, you know, this and that." And at the time I thought, oh, I wouldn't stay in a house where I thought the guys are going to come into my room at night while I'm sleeping. But what she was doing, she was fishing from me. Because the system can tell what I'm thinking. They wanted to see what comes up in my mind about going into women's rooms while they're sleeping. And Darlean herself, because she used to stay in the caravan next to me, because of these photos and stuff I had on my phone, people think I'm some kind of pervert. I've got some kind of infatuation with women's pussy or camel toes or upskirts and all this kind of thing. So it's a very sexually natured thing that they've got going with me. It's all based on women and it's all of a sexual nature. So they wanted to see whether I've been a peeping Tom or something with Darlean in the caravan park where I used to stay. And Darlean's fence was broken there by that house. So they wanted to see if anything came up in my mind about jumping fences or looking at people in your houses and stuff, because this is what the system thought I do. So yeah, when I find all this out, it's a little disappointing. Because she wouldn't come over to the flat at Brownie Towers where I was staying. And I thought, well, that's funny because we've known each other for how long and we kind of trust each other. Well, I thought so. But she's there for ulterior reasons, you know. Ulterior, not so much motives, but she's there for different reasons. When I saw Wayne van der Merwe, yeah, he had got a new car and he came over to Brownie Towers. And he came over. Now when he came over, we used to dabble in gear when we got together and stuff. And I had some gear on me. So that night I had actually planned to go get an escort or a prostitute or whatever. And then just as I was going to go leaving, Wayne called her and said, "Oh, what you doing?" You know, he said he's going to come over. This and that. So I have to go downstairs when he came over to open the security door to let him in. If anybody comes, you got to open the security door to let them in. And when I went downstairs, there was two black kids looking at me smiling, you know. And now I realized that these two kids were put there because people knew that I wanted to go and get a prostitute. So basically they thinking I'm horny or whatever, right? So in my mind, I want to go get a prostitute and have sex. So they put these two kids over there looking at me and smiling. The way they looked at me was like they know my business. You know, they were smiling at me and looking at me. It just seemed suspicious at the time. Not suspicious, it just seemed a little strange. You know, why they're minding me so much. And now I realized they were put there on purpose. Because I was going to get a prostitute, and they wanted to see what I think in my mind about little kids. Whether anything comes up in my mind about thinking sexually of little boys. That's why those boys were there. So anyway, Wayne came over. We went out and he was talking some paranoid stuff, you know. That people are following him around, this and that, whatever. And he was acting a little strange. And we went to the servo to put air in the tyres. We didn't end up putting air in the tyres anyway. But yeah, now I realise that he came over. He was supposed to come over. He called up at the last minute when I was going out to get a prostitute on purpose. He was supposed to do that. And then take me out and then talk some paranoid stuff. You know what I mean? It's like somebody told him not to do that and he'd done it. So this was all orchestrated now. I realize everything in my life has been orchestrated to happen the way it has happened. So he came over and done it all on purpose, whatever. Then we had a falling out. So now I gather that we had a falling out on purpose because basically he knows what's going to happen in the future, I guess. People have been watching me, and in the future people are watching me. So if people are watching me for those kind of reasons, why would you want to be with me? You know what I'm saying? Basically. So we had a falling out, maybe fought with me on purpose, but I hadn't seen him since. I haven't seen him since. So in about March that year, Natasha, Sallie, I was at work in Marandoo. I went to work in Marandoo. Natasha, Sallie, she said, we caught up on Facebook. She said, oh, this, that, blah, 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 this, that, whatever. And we were talking about photos. I had asked her for photos in about 2011 or so. This is now 2013. And finally she says, oh, yeah, I'll send you some photos, whatever. And she sent me a photo of me and her. So basically she contacted me. She was supposed to contact me or whatever. Everybody's come into my life for ulterior motives for different reasons. So people are fishing from me basically about my history with Natasha, Sallie, or they've asked her about our history or whatever. The system has been looking into me and now my past relationships with women. Because they want to know about me now, basically. But they know about me, they've been following me around for the last couple of years. And she sent me a photo, it's one of me and her. I'm behind her holding her and we've got the cheekiest grin on our faces, you know. It's kind of a stigmatized photo, you know. It looks like I'm playing with a butt or something. Like that. It looks something like that, you know. Yeah. Anyway. And Erissa, she contacted me in, actually where's these messages? I've got these messages here. Erissa contacted me in, on May 2013. Let's see, I've got to do something here. May 2013. And she was telling me about, we were just talking about family and stuff. We should catch up sometime. And she's really busy and stuff. And she's got 4 children. So Erissa contacted me, Natasha, Sallie, Darlean. So I was quite happy about this. All these women in my life contacted me, or me contacting them, whatever. But it was all for different reasons. So now with Erissa, she contacted me as well. That was May 2013. Now with them, the work. I went to work at Marandoo. Now Marandoo, see, the system was organizing my jobs as well now. So I got this job organized at Marandoo. I didn't know this in 2013. I found this out in 2017. Now in Marandoo, my donga was right down the end of the camp. Right on the end. I had to walk the furthest out of anybody. Right? And I remember when I got to that camp, she showed me a map, and it's this big like maze to get to where my donga is. You know, I've got to walk down through dongas and sections. Hey, like a puzzle, you get lost walking there, you know. And now I realize they've done this on purpose, for trying to confuse me and give me a long way to walk. They're making my life harder now because of what's happened in my past and with Hailey. That was a job at Marandoo. And at that job, there was a woman TA and a guy named Dave. The woman TA was a nice girl, but Dave and all other guys, they were always talking about her, she's like this and she's like that and everything. Trying to, like, I realized now they were trying to get me to hate on her because I had discussed to myself about TAs and women TAs and how they can't carry 20 kg bag for me, so they're not really good in a sense where I need them for some manhandling work, you know. Anything else is fine. So now the system's heard me because they've invaded my privacy. They've heard me talk about this or discuss this kind of thing. So I realize now that at that job, those guys were talking shit about that girl because of what I've said before in my past. You know, which is, it's just nonsense. You know what I mean? So people are coming at me with this attitude based on what I've been thinking. You know, but it's not the attitude I live. It's not what I walk around thinking. Anyway. Now, there was a girl at the bank. I went to the bank in town, ANZ, Murray Street Mall. And I was busy there, done my banking, and this nice redhead girl, after she finished doing my banking, she said, "Tut tut." And I was like, oh, you know, tut tut. It caught my attention because that's what I say to my dog, Pickles, my mum's dog. I take him for a walk all the time. Man, and now I realize that she was bullying me. She was calling me a dog. This is a girl in the bank. The system's got all these people and they know where I'm going, what I'm doing. So they've got the girl in the bank now calling me a dog. Tut tut, she said. I go tut tut to my dog when I want him to listen. Tut tut, come on, stop that, tut tut. She was calling me a dog. This was 2013. That's what's happened. Can you believe that? This is a girl at the bank. People have told her to treat me like a dog, call me a dog, because of what's happened with my past. And this is, I didn't know, this is happening everywhere I'm going. Darlean was trying to turn me off woman. Natasha Sallie said to me, "Oh, Byron, I'd love to give you those photos in your hand." And I was like, yeah, cool, that would be nice. I gave her my phone number and I told her I'm staying at Brownie Towers. So we should catch up anytime you want to, it'll be okay. And I realized it's the system with their technology. They just wanted to see what I think, whether I wanted to get with her or, you know, causing fidelity in a marriage or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Basically, they were orchestrated her to say that to me, because they wanted to see what angle I'm coming from, what my intentions would be. We never ended up catching up. Nothing happened. I've never heard from her again. The next I heard from her was 2016. She sent me some strange message out of the blue saying, "You've just been stalked by me." Okay, now Rob in South Perth, if I was dabbling, I was getting some rock off him. He was selling big sacks in South Perth there, from Indonesia. Him or Craig. Them two are working in cahoots with each other. On the 20th of the 5th, 2013, Kate Munroe, Rudy's missus, she said something about blood cousins in one of the messages on Facebook. And now I realize people were throwing me cues or reminders or hints about something in my life, you know. Everyone's coming at me with this, everyone's got ulterior motives with what they're saying to me. It's all about my personal business, and I didn't know this. So she said something about blood cousins, which was relative to Hailey. My CBI jobs and interviews and tests, I went and I done them, passed them all. Easy, I've been a Boilermaker engineer for many years, so the tests were quite simple.